the House passed 7 bills of the Trustees Incorporation Amendment Bill, the Anti-Terrorism Amendment Bill, the Anti-Money Laundering Amendment Bill, the Cooperative Society Amendment Bill, the Partnership Amendment Bill, the Companies Amendment Bill, and the Insolvency Amendment Bill.
Those in favor, say and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The amendments passed by Parliament have addressed concerns on money laundering and terrorism financing, as raised by the Financial Action Task Force, a global intergovernmental organization on the initiative of the G7 countries. Due to non-compliance, Uganda had been placed under the grey list of countries that have failed to put in place measures that can effectively prevent financial crimes. Under the Anti-Money Laundering Amendment Bill, in Clause 1, Subclause 3, a person or organization convicted of terrorism financing is liable to a fine of 1 billion shillings, imprisonment of 20 years or both.
I would like to thank you personally and on behalf of government for the support you have shown this morning to these bills. They will go a long way in getting us out of the quagmire or dilemma in which we are. But we promise to do better and not stampede the house like this.
And how I pray that Attorney General, you keep your word for the good of this country. And the bills that we passed this morning will help this country, will move a long way with legislation in this country, especially on financial matters, on anti-terrorism.
However, the House warned the government to desist from using the terrorism law against opposition politicians.
Your government, London General, and my good friend, is using now terrorism as a form of political persecution. Whoever is being arrested, even for simple politically related issues, is being charged with terrorism. Our colleagues are in prison because of terrorism.
So when you persecute people today, tomorrow it will be you. And today you've heard how this house is so united. The house is united on this kind of laws, and they are for the good of this country.
I can reassure all members of this house that the NRM government has not and will never use terrorism as a method of political persecution. We commit to continue ensuring that the laws are used fairly and fairly to everyone.
General, we want you to check on the issue of the political prisoners. And as we asked you, we need you to report back to this house.
Under Section 6A of the Anti-Money Laundering Amendment Bill, it will be a requirement for an accountable person to take appropriate steps to identify, assess and monitor money laundering, terrorism financing and proliferation financing risks. And in Section 21A, the Financial Intelligence Authority and supervisory authorities have been empowered to levy administrative penalties for those in breach of the law.
Under the Financial Action Task Force and the SM, like the East and Africa and Southern Africa Money Laundering Group, we agreed that there are certain things that need to be done, and one of them was to make sure that the recommendation and the laws that are against anti-money laundering and countering of terrorism financing and proliferation of weapons of mass destruction are put in place. And that's what the process we've been going through.
Herbert Ziwa, NTV at Parliament.